that everyone's going to be afraid of. I don't want to say that we're quite there yet. I think within the next year we will be, and especially if we keep on Houston, and that's going to be dangerous.
Well, you know what? I'm looking at this line with Margus Hunt, Ben Bonagou. I mean, you got Audrey, Taekwon Lewis, Jabal Sheard. I mean, these are all guys that have experience. They're young. They plus, on top of that, you have depth. The Indian defensive line hasn't had depth in a while. So the fact you guys have depth there and can rotate in defensive linemen and ends in and out with keeping Houston on the field and keep those guys fresh, it's going to be big for that defense.
Oh, yeah. Goodness. It's just, switching, like I said, again, from that 4-3 base defense, in the first year with Matt Eberflus, it paid off with us last season. Going into this season, again, like you're saying, adding that depth on there, it's just mind-blowing. I mean, who would have thought you could put Colts defense in a top ranking? I mean, a few years ago, we weren't even thinking that. It was a mess. And just the rebuilding, again, I cannot give enough credit to Chris Ballard and Frank Reich for building this team, and this defense will be highly ranked again this season. Hopefully a little bit higher, and we have Darius Leonard. He's hungry. He's hungry. You gave him awards last season. He's going to be after more awards, and he's hungry. And I even heard an interview with him, and he wants it all. He wants that Super Bowl. And despite of what's going on, I think he's going to help that defensive team get to where they want to be. And like I said, it might not be in the season. Maybe it might take us next season. It might take us, a couple more seasons. This is building up, and they're young, and just continuous adding on. We're going to get there right where we need them.
Well, a name I just brought up was Bobby Okikere. Next to Darius Leonard, I think is a very underrated addition. I wanted him in the draft. I loved Okikere, and just his tenacity when he hits the ball carrier, man, it gets me fired up.
Mm-hmm. Right. I just,
I know you're excited. I know.
I really am. It's like, who do we pay attention to on this team? I mean, should we really pay more attention on their defense? Should we really pay more attention on their offense, whether good or bad? The defense, I think after the past couple of weeks of what us Colts fans and everyone else has been going through, you have to sit back, and I think this is a realization for me that, wow, you know what? We keep forgetting to talk about this defense, and I think a lot of people forget that the Colts defense are going to be this, this hard on all these other things. I don't think we give them enough credit. Maybe this season will probably be, hey, you know what? Let's watch out for that Colts defense, because, even me, I just like right now, wow. When you put all those numbers together and all these names, this defense is going to be scary eventually.
Well, I mean, yeah, you had in the defensive backs for the corners, and last time you had a name that was relevant for the Indy was Vontae Davis, and the last couple of years he was injured, and he had a couple solid years, and he was injured the last 2 years. He had to move on. Mm-hmm. But before that, it was more of Bob Sanders that was relevant, and it was a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, the guys that come in with Kenny Moore, Rock Ya-Sin, oh, my God. They are corners that will latch on to wide receivers in their routes, and they will play the ball, and it's good to see Ballard bringing all that talent in, so it's not just Darius Leonard, like I said before, running the whole defense.
And another name you just brought up to my attention again, Rock Ya-Sin. My goodness. The list is just going to go on, and you can't just be more excited for this team.
Well, I mean, if there was a year that who shall not be named left, I mean, it was a good year to do it because of how talented the overall roster is.
You never know. Maybe it was meant to be. I know we were kidding around and everything with Andrew Luck, but apparently, anything could happen. I mean, he could have had another injury. I think what happened is we built what we needed around him. He couldn't, hold on much longer. And now we're left with all these, weapons. What do we do with this now? And you have to sit there and think, hey, they want the same thing. I don't really like to sit there and rely on one person. Hopefully that's the reality of it. We can't win, a division or whatever with on one person. Hopefully this is a team that all of them can come together, and maybe he will eventually be he who shall not be named. We don't know.
Well, I mean, you know what? If you go back and look at that roster, there's one thing that sticks out to me that he was very emotional after the QB in Luck had gone and retired. Was T.Y. Hilton was hit hard by this, and I think he's going to come out and be this next leader that Indy needs. This emotional leader, this guy that's going to go out in the field and just lay on the line every single play and try and show that for his former QB that they still have his back.
Ty came on the same season Luck came on, so there's no doubt that those two were close. Just the connection that both of them they had, and it was unbelievable. And I will say, if you were not a diehard Colts fan and you read that tweet from T.Y. Hilton, and if you did not at least get misty-eyed, I don't know what kind of a fan you are. Just knowing the love.
It hit me in the feelings, and I'm not even a Colts fan. They hit me because you could tell how close they were. They're literally brothers. I mean,
right? Yes, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, can you imagine T.Y. Hilton right now at a Houston game and how he's just going to go off? I think that's phenomenal. I mean, I can't wait to see that. But yeah, I think he's true to his word. He's going to dedicate the season to his number 12. And oh goodness, I love Ty.
I think he's going to be the leader that steps up on offense and to the team overall to go ahead and let the team know, I got you guys. We're going to do this. And what Jay said, it's the phoenix from the ashes. And I really do think that they have a possibility of doing that, because if you put in read option with Jacoby Brissett, like I was talking about with the whole fold aspect to Brissett, I think it could work. I mean, Brissett likes to throw the ball first before running. So, I mean, the read option, that's what it's there for. It's kind of set up perfectly for them if they want to do it. So I wonder if we'll see any read option out of the offense in this week 1.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And, of course, I'm not expecting a big turnout on that first game. We have to give it some time. And I'm willing to give Jacoby some time to get the feel of it. But I think he's got it covered. Again, he was there since, preseason started and OTAs and spring practices. I think he's going to be just fine. I just can't wait to see that young boy. I mean, he's out there having fun, too. That's another thing. He's out there, joking around and just having a ball. And I know a lot of people want quarterbacks probably to be serious. I think he's got this team, and they're out there. They're going to have fun. They're just going to show everyone what football is all about.
Well, I would say this,
that's
too.
The whole point of it.
Talking about guys stepping up to kind of take this team on their back, I think with the way the offensive line is built, particularly with the dog that is the beast of a man in Quentin Nelson, it wouldn't surprise me if this offensive line doesn't take it upon themselves to be even meaner and nastier, because let's be real here. With everybody talking about Jacoby Brissett the way they are, offensive lines kind of have this kind of, I don't know, like big brother mentality with their quarterback, and they don't have to say it, but they will go out and show it on the field. So maybe it's not just T.Y. that's really going to try to pick this up. Maybe it's that offensive line that takes it upon themselves to say, look, we're going to block our butts off, and we're going to make sure that Jacoby can have every opportunity to be successful, and therefore, this game, no matter what we do, Julie, we've talked about it with you guys, with all the other guests we've had. This game, they keep trying to change the rules, but at the end of the day, it's still won in the trenches. And this team is built very well in the trenches on both sides of the team.
Oh, yeah. That O-line. I can sit here and say when I was at the Colts town meeting and they were talking about the O-line, especially Ebron and Andrew Luck at the time, and he was saying, yes, this O-line is mean. I mean, you could sit there and talk about Quentin Nelson, and you can even see it in him. Yes, he could be probably quiet, but I think he's going to be out there and protect this quarterback, no matter who it is. He's going to be out there, taking the lead as well as probably Mark Lewinsky in that offensive line, probably Ryan Kelly in the center of it all, and just going on with Anthony Costanzo being there. Since he was probably the only player that I can think of, actually, that was there, I believe, in 2017 with Jacoby. I have to check that, but, don't quote me on that one. But I think there were really going to be leaders out there. This team doesn't take one. This team takes the whole team, and that's what's special about them.
Well said.
I think, I've got to say Indy to come in, and I've got to have the 8-8, and I understand that some losses may come early, trying to figure out how to get Jacoby going in the offense. So I fully kind of expect a couple losses to come out, but with how they responded last year when you said they were 1-5 and they came out on fire last year after that, I think they may have that same kind of rhythm this year, especially after finding Jacoby's rhythm.
Right. It's, of course, last season, they were even trying to get their feel. The first few games, yes, they probably lost. But this team now has been consecutive in practicing with each other, so they can read each other. They can feel, what's going to happen. It's not like we're bringing in, half of this O-line is brand new this season. Oh, and by the way, we have, the backup quarterback taking over now. They know what it's like. They're going to be able to read each other. They practice with each other from last season to this season. It's going to be a different feel. Unfortunately, we don't have the leader that we want on that field. Again, we have to work with what we have. Wow.
Well, you know what?
It's going to be a 1-hour benching session for me, and here I am all praised. Look at that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You being a Colts fan, I got to ask, what is your prediction for Indy?
Oh. Well, I will say I'm probably that percentage of people that thought really highly of this team, and after last week might have come down just a little. I'm still going to call a wild card. We might not make it far. I think this team will make it to some degree. I don't really like to get into the numbers, but I'm seeing something towards maybe 9 wins, maybe 10. I'd like to be optimistic. I really say no more than 9, though. 9 wins for the season. I want to grab into that wild, only because that AFC South division can be so unpredictable.
Yeah, I just seeing that trade today go down with Houston, getting the tackle and Kenny Stills, it really solidified me as like that division winner. And Indy's still in that race to get the wild card, or if they even put it together and go on and possibly challenge Houston for the division title. But my sleeper in this division, I hate to say it, is Jacksonville. With Foles and the defense coming back, it looks like it's going to be just as good as a couple of years ago, like it was. And with Foles, he brings that veteran leadership to that offense and that knowledge of kind of going down the season, getting in the playoffs. So that's my sleeper. I don't expect anything out of Tennessee because of the fact that I don't have any faith in Mariota.